finally, we are on what? Part 4 of the Zungu Inganekwane. And to my international folks, Inganekwane means a story, okay? A story, bedtime story, a fiction, non-true event, account of events. I think that's the best way I can translate it. Help me out in the comment section, guys. But let me tell you something. Zungu, Niza, Zungu. Oh my goodness, the storytelling continues. The confusion increases. But we are now at the part where he has introduced us to Gininda. So remember, he went to General Leshavane in the last video, and General Leshavane said, don't talk about this, okay? Don't talk about your Nganekwane. Let it go. But Zungu's conscience was just not working for him because he needed the 5 accused behind bars, most especially accused number 5, okay? So what did he go ahead and do? He decided, head office it is. I'm just going to go to the national commissioner and tell my Nganekwane. You see, that's what happens with storytellers. They love an audience. They need someone to listen to their story, and they need to tell their story. Otherwise, they are not storytellers, aka Chikotwala. He will give any media an audience when given a chance. But I digress. Let's jump into a part 4 of Zungu Niza's Nganekwane, okay? Let's find out what happens with Gininda, Leshavane, Makhubo. The names keep dropping. He's dropping the big names. Let's get into it.
What was it, 18? What was it, 13?
I think it was on the 13th
November.
13th November.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who saw you on the 13th of
One
November?
was on the 13th of November.
Oh, Gininda.
Brigadier Gininda.
Yes.
Emva kwalokho uGeneral Leshabane wabesemfonela.
Then after General Leshabane called me.
Yeah, but what was discussed at that meeting with Brigadier?
Yini enakhuluma ngayo no Brigadier Gininda ngalelo langa.
On the 13th of November, 2019.
Kwaba yilo udaba lokuthi athi ngazini ngokubulawa kukaMeyiwa.
Ask me, what do you know about the killing of Meyiwa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Abe sengimtshela akukho engikwaziyo futhi akukho engangakhuluma ngakho.
I told him that I know nothing and there is nothing that I can talk about.
Yes.
Kodwa ngithema khamba isikhathi ngezwa lezi inkulumo zokuthi abasolwa yilaba.
But as time went on, I heard that these are the suspects.
Yes. Just tell the court about what you know. Yes. What happened further?
Okay. Shuthi makusahamba isikhathi ngabe ngangizenzela uphenyo mina ngokuthi kungani mhlambe kuba khona inzongo zokuthi kube khona abantu abangilandelayo.
Okay. Then as time went on, I did my investigation as to what is it that there are people following me.
So, but what was the outcome of your meeting with Brigadier Gininda?
Imiphumela kwaba yini ke yomhlangano wakho kanye naye uBrigadier Gininda.
Wathi uzokwenza naye uphenyo lwakhe.
He said he would do his own investigation.
Kumele ngikhulume ukuthi sakhuluma ngani.
Must I go into the details or what to talk about?
That's not necessary.
That's a question.
Okay. Emva kwalokho kwabe sekuba khona ngabe sengibuyela emuva uGeneral wabe sengibiza esengibuza ukuthi bazi kanjani head office mayelana nodaba.
General called me and asked me how is it that they know about this matter at the national office.
Yeah, which general?
General
Leshabane.
When did he call you?
What is her name?
Ngicabanga kwakuyi 19 November.
I think it was on the 19th of November.
Emva kwalokho kwabe sekuba yi-18 la engabona khona abasolwa ba kubo. Kwabasolwa bezoza ngokudubula.
Bona abasolwa.
Abakubo.
Okay, 18.
Yes.
Then on the 18th, that's where I saw now the relatives of the suspects when they wanted or when they came to shoot me.
Yes.
Jiggy, I met up with Gininda, told him my story, but I don't know anything about the Senzo Meyiwa case, about the Senzo Meyiwa murder, but I know that the accused, okay? Somebody make that sentence make sense. What is Zungu Niza saying? Then he goes on to say, Jiggy, it was on the 13th of November, 2019. And then Gininda said he's going to do an investigation after I told him my Nganekwane. And I left head office very, very happy. Jiggy, General Leshavane called me on the 19th of November 2019 and said, how does head office know about this Senzo Meyiwa story that you came to tell me? Jiggy jiggy, okay? Jiggy jiggy on the 18th, but on the 18th, the suspect's family tried to kill me. Huh? This story is not in chronological order. It makes no sense. But let's take his story as credible for just a second. Just a second. So on the 18th, the day before Leshabane talks to you, somebody tries to take your life. And the next day, you are still talking to the general about it. You are not scared. You are okay. And I'm supposed to just believe this Nganegwane. Oh my God. But you know what? This is Zungu. So you just listen and keep going. Okay. And then what happened? And you can tell Baloyi is done with this man. He can't take it anymore. He doesn't even remember the bare minimum of calling them accused 1, 2, 3, 4. He just keeps going on and on with their names. Umuzi, Umafiga, Ugalda. Doesn't have a name for accused number 4 though. And accused number 5 is Unkadi, okay? But let's keep going. Let's keep going with this Nganegwane. At some point, it's going to take us somewhere.
Should not remember meeting.
I knew that there was something like this, you know.
Then ukufika kwabo kwangenzela futhi babengaqali mangasho ukuthi babengaqala ukufika bakanonyaka bafika kodwa babengethi straight babeza ngeindlela ezahlukene.
It was not the first time. During the course of the year they came, but they didn't in other words approach me directly, but they just came in different ways.
Mangikhumbula kulowo nyaka futhi akhuluma nomsolo number 1 bangangikhathazekile ngaye.
If I remember well, during that year, I spoke to accused number 1 because I was worried about him.
When did you speak to him?
Wakhuluma nini naye?
Yes,
Kwakunomshado ekhaya.
There was a wedding back home.
Ngakhuluma naye.
I spoke to him.
Then ngabuya ngakhuluma naye ngefoni.
I then after spoke to him telephonically.
Then angimcela ukuthi akhuze should ngase ngibona ukuthi laba babo bafuna ukungidubula angikhuzele bona.
I then asked him or requested him to stop because I now could see that his relatives wanted to shoot me. So I requested him to stop them. And he did that.
Yes, just put that in correct sequence. Well, what happened first?
Are you begging
Incident at the wedding or the
Oh.
telephone call?
Oh, the telephone call ngakhuluma naye. Oh, ngakhuluma naye emshadweni.
I spoke to him at the wedding first.
Yes, more or less, when was that?
Kwakunini?
Kwaku August.
It was in August.
Sabe sikhuluma ngakho ngoba ngicabanga kwakuyinto eyayisiyaziwa.
Which year?
Kwakuphi unyaka?
2019.
I think 2019.
Yes. Well, what happened during that occasion?
Because wayekaboshwa uMozi ngaphambili.
Musi had been arrested before.
So wayengixoxela ngakho lokho kuboshwa.
So he was telling me about that arrest.
But abese ngixoxa nabo njalo ukuthi kunodaba futhi oluyinkinga.
That also kusho wena.
Kusho yena.
Or he also said that there was also another issue which was a problem,
Okuyiyona babembuze ngayo.
which they asked him about.
Bengabe sengimtshela ukuthi abukho engakhuluma ngayo futhi asimele bona bamaphoyisa enze umphelo lapho.
I then informed him that there's nothing I can talk about. Let's wait for the police to do their investigation.
Did he tell you what that issue was?
Ngabe wakutshela ukuthi kwakuyini lolo daba lolo?
Yebo wangitshela.
Yes, he did.
Yes, just tell the court about it.
Tell me
Wangitshela ukuthi udaba lukaSenzo Meyiwa.
He told me that it was the issue of Senzo, the matter of Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes.
Yena wakubeka ngalendlela ukuthi le ndaba kakhipha.
He said to me, it's the matter or the issue of the goalkeeper.
Noma ayengiphethe kabi nami engangiphathanga kahle.
It didn't sit well with me as well.
Yes. What did he say about it?
Wangitshela ukuthi lolu daba lolu luyinkinga futhi mangakubeka ngesizulu wathi le ndaba iyinkinga yazi futhi akumele sikhulume ngayo like mdlalo.
He said to me that this issue is a problem and we shouldn't just openly speak about it or just like that and anyhow speak about it.
Nami vele ngangifisa ukuthi ngixoxe naye maybe ngim-advise kodwa akukho engakwenza.
It was also my wish to speak about it, to speak to him about it or advise him, but there was nothing I could do.
Sabe sesiyeka kanjalo
We left it like that.
2019.
Yes, but
2019.
tell the court about it. You mentioned earlier on through a telephone call.
Ukhulumile ke ngokukhuluma naye ngefoni.
Ngabe lapho sengikhuluma naye ngase ngimcela ukuthi mangikhuluma noMuzi ngabe sengimtshela ukuthi Muzi why abakini befuna ukungidubula.
I then said, when I spoke to him telephonically, I said to him, Muzi, why is it that your relatives want to shoot me? The reason for that, if I were to explain that, there were those who had attempted to kill me.
Accused number 5.
Those were relatives of accused number 5.
And accused number 1.
According to my knowledge.
Yes. So
The problem with Nganegwane that has so many moving parts and many characters, okay, is that you have to keep up with what you said. Earlier, he said that it was the family of accused number 1 and the family of accused number 5 that were trying to unalive him. And then now he is talking to Umuzi Sivia and saying, your family is trying to unalive me. So what happens to the family of accused number 5? Did they quit on their quest to unalive Uzungunaiza? What is going on? The story is incomplete and missing parts because it is Nganegwane. But let's continue on to hear what happened over there with the big boss.
Because I also don't know anything about this matter, and I didn't know anything.
yes. And Moses again, which accused?
Accused number 1.
Accused number 1.
And when was this occasion when you spoke to him telephonically?
Manje umusukhuluma naye ngocingo ke bakunini.
Mangicabanga wathi akekho seMpumalanga uzoza ukuthi kwakunini media nonyaka.
I think he said to me that he was not in Pumalanga, he was going to come through. But if you say when, I think it was mid-year.
Yes, which year?
2019.
Yes. Earlier on, you were telling the court about that incident. You said you went to buy cigarettes. What happened during that occasion?
Ukhulumile ke ngehlandla leli ke owaphuma ngalo uyothenga ugwayi. Kwenzekani ke ngalelo hlandla lelo?
Ngathi mangibuya eshop ngabona imoto yekade ibakile nje aside umuntu ngasela ihlala ngakhona.
When I came back from the shop, I saw a car that was parked on the side where I was staying.
Yapaka shothi ayipakile vele ngiphume ibivele ipakile.
On my way out, it was already parked there
Because ngayindlula.
because I passed it.
Kodwa ngababona babephakathi emotweni njobani.
But I saw as to who was inside the vehicle.
Then emva kwalokho ngandlula ngayeshop.
I went to the shop.
Mangibuya omunye wakantuli umfana khona wabe sekhipha isibhamu ngewindi.
On my way back, one of the guys from Ntuli produced a firearm through the window.
Then ngabizwa ukuthi ipin shoot engakaphakami because waphakamisa ipin late. Then ngajika.
Then I felt that the pinch wasn't yet raised because I raised it late, and then I turned around.
Then ngabe sengifonela futhi uGwabini on the 18th of November
Probably 18th of November, I'll show you.
Which year?
2019.
Then ngathi
You say you saw the persons who were in the vehicle. Who were they?
Uthi wababona abantu abesemotweni babobani?
omunye uNkazimulo.
The other one is Nkazimulo.
Yes.
Yebo.
Then ngabe sengiyafika
And who's Nkazimulo?
Ubani Nkazimulo?
omunye ama-relative mangicabanga relative kaMozi or then accused number 5.
It's one of the relatives. I think it's a relative of Mozi and accused number 5.
And Muzi, which accused?
Accused number 1.
Accused number 1.
Yes, and this person Tuli who produced a firearm through the window. Do you know him?
No, yes, I know him.
Yes. How do you know him?
Mazi kanjani?
Imazi lakho la eThembisa.
I know him from Tembisa.
Yes.
Nokuthi ngike ngambona maku
Is he related to any of the accused?
Ukhona ngikholelwa kanjalo.
Yes. Which one?
ngoba ngathi mangifika kuGwabini wa confirm ukuthi
Yes. So just to which do you know if he's related to any of the accused?
I think accused number 1 and accused number 5.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ke uyisihlobo sami sokuqala nowesihlanu.
Yes, you may proceed.
Emva kwalokho ngabe sengiya kuGwabi nokuconfirma naye lokho.
As a-
Okay.
As a court, please don't refer to any discussion with Baloyi.
Then emva kwalokho
Yes.
emva kwalokho ngabe se
You mentioned that you made a call to, who did you call?
Ushilo ukuthi ukhona owamfonela ubani wamfonela?
ngabe sengifonela uGeneral Leshabani.
I called General Leshabani.
Yes, and why did you call him?
Is that true?
Ngangimazisa ukuthi namba bezomdubula.
I was informing him that here they are coming to shoot me.
Yes, and when did you speak to General Shabani?
Kumele nini nayo General Leshabani?
Ngikhulume naye ngefoni
Telephone
wathi ngize kuye cishe e-ofisini.
He then said to me I should come to him at the office.
Yes, when was it?
Kwakunini?
May 19
On the 19th of November,
Yes, which year?
Nyaka
2019.
2019.
So the Nkabis, okay, that were parked where Zungu lives, they are just such kind and gentle souls. They let him leave the house, they remain and wait for him. And when he comes back, they pull out the firearm through the window, and then they're very, very late to push the pin, and he heard the pin and he turns around. And then when he sees the firearm, he decides to call Gwabini. This is all while a firearm is pointed at him, mind you. And then he also calls General Leshabane and tells him they're back again, the Nkabis. What in the Mzansi Unfiltered kind of Nkabi story is this? Especially if they're Nkabis that have a relation to accused number 5. Because accused number 5, one thing about him, he will take you out. Pa 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 pa. Real fast, real quick.
Yes, did you then go to his office?
Yebo ngaya.
Yes, I did.
Wabe sefike ngitshela ukuthi ngakutshela ukuthi asiyiyeke le ndaba. Uyabona ukuthi izobela impilo yakho ngempini.
He then informed me that I said to you, or I did inform you that we should leave this matter. You can see that it's going to put your life in danger.
Izathu sokuthi mangithiwa ithi asiyiyeke ingoba wake wangazisa ngaphambilini khona la abakhona nomhlangano no warrant office no General Sibia and warrant office Makhubo.
Okay. The reason why I mentioned this, that he had said that we should leave it, because there was an occasion where there was a meeting between Warrant Officer Makhubo and General Sibia.
Warrant officer Makhubo.
When was that meeting?
Yeah, in the meeting there.
It's a very late.
I'll look for the date. I can't remember it now. But it was in the middle of the year.
Yes, which year?
I think 2019.
Yes.
Then kulo meeting esasinayo sasivumelene ukuthi okay lolu daba siyaliyeka.
In that meeting that we had agreed that we are going to lay this matter to rest.
Then wayerefera kulokho ukuthi uyabona ukuthi why izomphasisa.
So he was referring to that can you now see that is gonna now it's gonna cause you harm.
Yes, just tell the court more about that meeting where Warrant Officer Makhubo and General Sibia was present. Were you also present at that meeting?
Now ukhona kule meeting now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What happened there?
Kwenzekani lapho?
Ngafika emeetingini uGeneral wayengizile wabe esefonela uGeneral Sibia.
I arrived at the meeting, the general had called me. He then contacted the General Sibia.
Then wabe sefika uGeneral Sibia.
General Sibia arrived.
Then wafika wapi walalela phela.
He only listened
Wabe sibuza ukuthi ubani maybe ophethe lolu daba head office.
and then inquired as to who was handling this matter at the head office.
Wabe sethi uKenel Gininda.
Then said it was Colonel Gininda.
Then uGeneral wabe sethi akufonelwe uWarrant Officer Makhubo.
The general then said the Warrant Officer Makhubo should be contacted.
And wabe sebemfonela.
Warrant Officer Makhubo was indeed called.
Wabe sefika futhi uWarrant Officer Makhubo.
Warrant Officer Makhubo arrived.
Wafika Warrant Officer Makhubo. Wabe semchazela uGeneral ukuthi yini le esikhuluma ngayo.
Upon Warrant Officer Makhubo's arrival, General then informed Warrant Officer Makhubo as to what it is, what it was that we were talking about.
General who?
General Leshabani.
General Shabat.
Then Warrant Officer Makhubo wabe seyichitha le ndawo athi ayikho.
Warrant Officer Makhubo just said that this matter, there's no such.
As the court, please, my lord, may that hearsay evidence be admissible. We submit that it's in the interest of justice there's a second docket that has been brought up in these proceedings, and this communication pertains to that matter.
Just repeat what you just said.
My Lord, the state requests that the utterances by Warrant Officer
Makhubo
be,
specifically.
I'm sorry?
The utterances by Makhubo specifically.
Yes, by Warrant Officer Makhubo
Right.
be admitted in the interest of justice, even if it's hearsay. We submit to my Lord that it is in the interest of justice that it be allowed as it pertains to the second docket that has been brought up in these proceedings.
Are you making the application in terms of section
31A of
31
the, yes, of the Hearsay Act.
1988.
88, indeed, my Lord.
Yes, Mr. Ramsipiri. There's an application in terms of section 31 of Act 45 of 88, the Evidence Act.
Well conversant with the section, my lord.
Hello?
I am well conversant with the section
Yes.
of that act. However, my lord, the exigency doesn't meet the threshold of that section because Warrant Officer Makhubo is alive. He can come and testify in this court, my lord. We don't have to have hearsay from this witness. He can come and speak for himself in the box, my lord, as the court pleases.
Yes, Mr. Nisi.
Exactly, madam. The state has finished this court with no specific reasons why Mr. Makhubo cannot become the court to come testify.
The reason he says there's a second docket. Is that the reason, sir?
Yes, indeed, my Lord.
That's the reason. He says there's a second docket relating to this matter. That is why he says it is imperative in the interest of justice that the evidence which this witness adduces after having had a meeting with Makhubo should be rendered admissible here in the interest of justice.
That is a faulty application, my lord.
Hello?
That is a faulty application
Oh,
of
faulty,
the provisions of the section because it can only cover instances where the witness, on whose credibility the testimony of this witness that's currently testifying is based, is unable to be called either because he has vanished or is arrested, then the hearsay should then be admitted in the interest of justice. But without specific indication that that witness does not fall in the category of him being deceased or him being untraceable, he must be brought to court here, my lord.
Okay.
Longer man.
Mr.
My lord, I share the very same sentiments with my colleagues. Thank you.
Ms. Msholo?
My lord, above the submissions made by my learned friends, my lord, the state is referring this court to a blanket of evidence which is referred to as case 375. There is no reference made to that particular statement referring to the utterances that the witness is talking about. For example, my lord, if the state wants to say Warrant Officer Makhubo has made the statement to the effect of what the witness is testifying about, and that statement is shown before court that it is contained in the docket 375, and that particular portion of evidence is also read or showed into the court, then we can understand the interest of justice, my lord. And above that, the warrant officer, my lord, is still available.
As a court, we don't want to belabor the point, not much tense on it. We can leave it. Yeah, we can leave it at that.
You're withdrawing the application.
As a court, please.
Okay, the application is withdrawn.
Baloyi. Trying to sneak in over there with hearsay evidence and assuming the defense team would be fast asleep and you can just slide it right in and say, because of docket 375, then can we allow this because it's already in another docket anyway. And the Queen Mshololo says, the least you could have done was tell us Exhibit 45 in Case 375. But you can't even say that. We don't even know if this is really inside 375. We just have to listen to your hearsay, and he cannot argue it out. And Baloyi says, I withdraw my application, my lord. Oh my goodness, Baloyi, what were you trying to sneak in from Warrant Officer Makhubo? Because, hello, we already know that Senzo Meyiwa died at a police station because all these police testimonies trying to come in or are in. And the case just keeps having witnesses upon witnesses that actually work for the South African Police Services. And the challenge I have with that is none of these witness testimonies from men and women of the South African Police Services actually contribute or make any sense or add to the conviction of the 5 accused beyond reasonable doubt. This is the South Africa we live in, where the police turn witnesses, the police drive state vehicles while drunk, they go and have meat and alcohol, Jameson bottle to be exact, with izinkabi. And then they leave with the zinkabi, 4 passengers in Constable Zungu's car on that fateful night when Usenzo Meyiwa was shot. His memory is very fuzzy around who those 4 were in the car, but he remembers the sweater that Bongani Ntanzi wore, the type of dreadlocks that accused number 3 had, and that the relatives of accused number 1 and 5 were trying to end his life. This Nganengwane continues on. Let's hear what else Baloyi puts on the table.